connect to the all such systems and it retrieves the data and it will do all manipulations and whatever the business logic wanted to mention, all the business logic will be mentioned inside the TIPCO or any Dell Boomi or any integration tool. Then you will be finally sending the data back to your target systems. Let's say one of the let's say this is the mainframe system.
Excuse me.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, please mute all of you, please, except Vema.
Yeah, that
Because
will be better because the thing
getting
will get noise, echo will be getting.
yeah.
If any doubts, we can unmute it and you can ask questions at any point of time. I think Kalyan is left.
Kalyan, please mute.
Kalyan and Venu.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, let's say there is a two systems are involved. I'm just giving two example system. One is mainframe and another one is a SAP system. Okay, and the mainframe and SAP system cannot communicate directly because the SAP uses the data structure called IDOC. We can just tell it as a IDOC. It's one of the data structure. But mainframe uses the structure called COBOL. It nothing but it's a copy books. It's a different structure, but both are because of these different structures, it's not able to communicate both mainframe or SAP. So then there should be some integration platform that could be able to connect to all the systems. So let's consider this as a Dell Boomi. So when two systems are not able to communicate through directly, how the Dell Boomi is actually supporting here. So there is each and every technology, there will be a supporting of common XML technology. This is what we can call it as universal. XML is universal. So how the Dell Boomi is supporting? First, whenever it is connecting application, Dell Boomi will be having the multiple connectors. In other programming, in other middleware tools or integration tools, we'll call it as a adapters. Adapters or connectors. In Boomi, we can call it as a connector. It means that when mainframe system is if you wanted to connect to Dell Boomi or Dell Boomi wanted to access mainframe system details, first it has to be have a one mainframe server. If in Dell Boomi will be comprised, once we have a license account with this, and you can be able to see the number of connectors. If any inbuilt connectors are not available, then you maybe need to go through common channels. I'll give you what are the common channels available. So, but the thing is how the connector is actually doing this job is connector. See, entire Dell Boomi or everything you will developed on a Java platform, because whenever you install a Dell Boomi server, nothing but we can call it as an atom. Dell Boomi server in the sense we'll call it as an atom. This atom internally uses the JRE. JRE nothing but Java runtime environment. It means Dell Boomi everything will run on a JRE server. Let me show you that where exactly it is installed. Just go for C. This is one of the atom I have installed it, and when you go here, you can see that there is a JRE will be installed here. If the JRE is not installed, then it will be referring here. Once an atom get installed, I'll show you how to install an atom also. Here, just go for preferred or installer, whatever it is. Just open this and it internally refers the JDK or JRE version. It means all atoms will be internally uses the JRE server. So each and everything will be developed on Dell Boomi tool, Java, all the whatever it's a connector or Dell Boomi platform, everything is built on one layer above the Java. So whenever you wanted to connect to here, there will be a connector here. The connector will be doing the job of either pulling the data or pushing it, both inbound and outbound. When I say inbound, now the mainframe data is coming into the TIPCO, coming into the Dell Boomi. It means it's an inbound. When Dell Boomi is sending some data to the external application, that is what we can call it as outbound. So here all the connector, what is the connector functionality, how the connector is actually supporting for this connecting to these two applications. The connector is job is it can connect to the native application. When I say native application for mainframes, it's a COBOL data structure. So this connector can can connect to the mainframe system, and it will pull the data, and the data will be converted into an XML, and that XML data will be given back to the Dell Boomi. It means that each and every source data is being converted into an XML. Similarly, again, when once you receive the data from mainframe system and you perform all the validation or whatever the task, maybe you can do anything in the album. Like you can connect to the database, or you can connect to any web service calls, or even you can send an email alerts. You can connect to any Salesforce SuccessFactors, any application. And after doing all your lookups, whatever the business logic you mentioned in the Dell Boomi to be executed, after all the things get executed, if you wanted to send the data back to the target system, again you will be taking the XML. It's still reverse operation. Now the XML is converted into IDAP here. So what is this job is doing here? This job is basically doing by the connector, and you don't need to do any kind of a coding for working with this connector. You don't need to do you don't need to write any kind of a coding, because the Dell Boomi have comes with some set of a predefined inbuilt installed connectors. All these connectors we will be having a GUI, graphical user interface editor, where you can just provide all the details, like to connecting to the system configuration details you need to provide, and then you need to give the operation details. When I say operation details, what are the objects you wanted to perform, whether you wanted to perform any inbound or outbound operation, that particular object you need to specify. So this is basically how the Dell Boomi is coming. Not only Dell Boomi, any integration tool, it will do the same thing here. But what exactly specialty of Dell Boomi apart from other integration tool is, Dell Boomi is a cloud integration tool. So if you just go for any other integration, like let's say even the SAP has their own integration tool called PI, process integration, or XI. But the benefit of this Dell Boomi is all other integration tools are non-cloud based. It means you have to download a product once you pay the license for the entire product. Once you pay the license for the entire product, let's say you have taken license for the SAP XI. You pick a license for SAP XI. Let's say for every month it may be the or 2 lakhs or 3 lakhs, whatever it is. So once you pay the license, they'll be giving the software download software for downloading executable files, and you can install it. You can set up, and then you can see how to set up your own environment. Once you set up an environment, and if any patches or if any modifications that need to be applied, that you need to take care of it. But now everything is moving into the cloud. Then clients say and comes and say, he say, I don't want to go ahead with any headache, and I'll give you this much per month. You just set up everything environment and give me access. So this is the way. So the Dell Boomi will not charge license for using the Dell Boomi tool. They will only charge the license for how many number of systems you are connecting. Let's say you are connecting one system here, mainframe connection. Maybe you are using a SAP system. There will be one more connection. Like if you are using for Dell, and now one more thing is, when you have taken a license for SuccessFactors. This is one of the HRMS application, cloud based. If you are not aware. And this is recently been acquired by the SAP system. So when you have a SuccessFactors have a multiple modules, like this is whatever as my information, SuccessFactors is whatever the in normal companies, if less than 500 companies, whatever the HR actually doing, the HR functionality each and everything will be doing this UI SuccessFactors. Let's say one of the module called Employee Central. We can call it as a EC short, or goals. Like we have other modules also. But when you have taken license for Employee Central, you will be Boomi license will be getting free. Boomi license will be getting free. That's the reason mostly now why they are going for a SuccessFactors integration SuccessFactors. So they are building their own integration tool. SAP has since already acquired the SuccessFactors, and then as part of this agreement they already have the license also with the Dell Boomi. So this license will be there up to 2020. In case, and the SAP also has their own integration tool called XIRPI. Now they have, the SAP is an on-premise application and SuccessFactors is a cloud instance, but their integration tool cannot able to communicate both cloud and on-premise. It can only connect with on-premise. So that's the reason now they are coming up with one more integration tool called HCI, HANA Cloud Integration. And means if they are because they have one of the systems, have SAP systems is on-premise system and the SuccessFactors is a cloud instance system, and they wanted to exchange the data both from cloud to on-premise to cloud. So that is not happening currently. So that's the reason they are building one more new tool called HANA Cloud Integration. And in case if this is getting succeeded, maybe they 2020 onward they may not able to renewal their license. So they maybe go for this one. If this is not happen, this is not get succeeded, and if not get click, and then they may be using the Dell Boomi. In case even if it is get succeeded, also so many projects are already been running in production. It will take a lot of time for migrating all the things to be done for the HANA Cloud Integration. So it means even 2020 also there might be a feature for up to 5 to 6 years in case if HANA Cloud Integration is clicked out. And one more thing is not only the success factors, so the Boomi is being used. Boomi is using so many applications. Let's say for connecting to the ADP system, payroll system, or let's say it's a SAP is connecting for Dell Boomi is connecting for the Salesforce, NetSuite, Workday. So many cloud applications are there. So Dell Boomi will be and they are each and every time, each and every month they are releasing a new releases. Each and every month, I'll show you where you can check the releases. Each and every month they'll be giving you the new releases. So they are keep on upgrading all the changes and giving new features. It will be more and more feature. The tool will be having a more feature in further days. So now we'll see here how what are the different connectors. Here this is the one same thing here also.
Can you connect the two systems at the same time?
Okay, now let's
Hello?
yes.
Hello? Can you connect the two systems at the same time? Like you now you are connecting the mainframe to Delhi, like mainframe and Salesforce system to Delhi, that will be SAP at the
Yeah,
same time.
yes. As part of a training, I'll be showing because the success factor is a license a cloud-based instance. If we have access, any one of you have access, I'll show you success factor instance. Or else we can use the Salesforce also a cloud-based instance. CRM application sales. I will be showing the Salesforce because how I am telling
No, no,
Salesforce is Salesforce. We do have an trial account. We can create a trial account.
no, no. What I'm asking is now you are connected the mainframe to Delhi, that will be SAP, right? So like this one main, first I want to connect the mainframe and the Salesforce two systems at the same time to Delhi.
Just
Can
let
you
let me
connect
just
that?
show you that. Let me just show you how we can connect to the success factors. Yeah. Okay, let's click on here. Maybe we can just see that there is a one more existing process. Don't try to understand here because you are not familiar with the Boomi. I'm just showing how you ask me question how to connect it. Each and everything
No,
for connecting. Yeah, go
no.
ahead.
What I'm asking is how we are connecting the. Can you open the screen? Okay, the client application using the screen.
So that Dell Boomi will be installed with a inbuilt connector. That connectors using that connectors will be connecting to the external application. Let's say here if you see, uh, let me just let it open it process. See here what we are doing it. We are connecting that pulling the data from database and uploading it to Salesforce. Here this is the what we are telling how the Dell Boomi is connecting to the external application called Salesforce. So if you wanted to connect it, so here we have the connection we are specifying all the Salesforce credential. So what is the URL and username and password. So using this URL you can connect to the Salesforce and whatever the operations we are doing, whatever the actions we are doing it. Let's say we are doing here contacts. We are doing a contacts creation or updation. So this one it will connect to the Salesforce and whatever the data is coming from the DB, data will be replicated into the Salesforce contacts. So this is what, but how we are connecting is it's everything will be like this only. Each and every connector will be having a two components, connection and operation. There you basically specify the connection details. Once you connected what you want to do, that will be specified in the operation.
No, what I'm asking here is that, no, hello?
Yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
No, what I'm asking here is that I'm asking the two systems connected at the single time, inbound with the two systems and outbound with the one system. Can you do that one?
Yes, you can use the one more connector. See, if you are using, let's say I'm connecting to a database, it may be one of the system, and even you can configure one more connector. You can see, you can drag and drop connector, and you can connect to any number of inbound applications. Even you can connect any number
Outbound
of
is,
outbound connections.
outbound is
It can
one
be,
is fine.
it can be a multiple. That depends on how your requirement. Maybe you wanted to, you will be having some data. That data you need to send it to the multiple systems. Same data need to send it to multiple systems. In that case, we'll putting multiple connectors, because we have the connectors here. You can see these many number of connectors already there. These are the technology connectors. There are two type of a connector basically supports: technology connectors and then application connectors. You can see what are all application connectors are there. Amazon S3, Anaplan, Apex, Aprimo, like so many connectors will be Atmosphere API, and then here only you can see Dell Works, Syntax, Jira, JMS and LDAP, Marketo, like so many applications will be there. So that's if you are connecting to any application and if you don't find any inbuilt connector, then you maybe need to use it. If possible, you can use the technology connectors. When I say technology connector, maybe you can interface to the database or any FTP, SFTP, to the file protocols. Through this, you can integrate, or any web services. If even these things are also not compatible, maybe you can go ahead and develop your own connector, and you can use that connector here. For developing the connector, we do have an SDK. Software development kit will be installed. SDK will be get installed with Boomi. So you can use this SDK to develop your new connector, and this basically requires a custom coding, because the connectors is built because of how the connectors will be working. When you say how, when you go here in the lib folder, you will see plenty of jar files. These all jar files basically supports all the connectors. Maybe not only connectors, it can do support for the all other functionality. Similarly, when you want to build a new connector, that's not mostly the 99% we never work on new connectors. We'll always try to use it, because we are working on application side. We always try to use it whatever we have existing one. So we and then it means you need to write your own custom coding. Maybe need to have some Java idea for writing and building your own connector. In case if your inbuilt connector is not sufficient, and even you are not able to use any common channels like technology adapters, database or file or FTP to HTTP, mail, SFTP, web services. If none of these common channels are not even working out for you, then you may need to write your own building, or you may need to build your own connector. That answers your question?
Fine.
Okay. So the connector is basically, yeah, go ahead.
Vima, I have a question about what kind of integration can we have, or what kind of jobs can we have between two systems when we integrate through Dell Boomi? Can we have like a real-time connectivity, like updating one system and then integrating it, and the other system also gets updated right at that time?
So, yeah, as part of training, I'll be showing the two systems, like integrating the Salesforce or SuccessFactors with the database, or database to SuccessFactors or Salesforce. Vice versa,
Yeah,
I'll be showing it.
I have a question, because if we want to do that, do we need Lightning connector for Salesforce?
The Salesforce, we don't need any licensing connector. We can create a trial
No,
account in the.
no,
Yes, go ahead.
there's something called Lightning connector that helps in real-time integration. Okay, I mean we can discuss
No,
about it in
we have
future.
a Salesforce account here. Salesforce connector we have here. We can use this Salesforce connector and we can use it. Maybe if we can use it any other uh, way, or whatever you connected, maybe I'm not aware of it. But we'll use the
Okay,
Salesforce
okay,
here for connecting
okay,
Salesforce.
okay, okay. All right, continue.
And we basically have the two inbuilt connectors, technology inbound and outbound connectors. When I say inbound connectors, when the inbound connectors, when I say inbound connectors, here there are the two actions will be supported. One is a get, other one is a send. Get is nothing but it's an inbound operation. Using some external applications are sending the data to the Boomi. That's what we can call inbound. When a Boomi is sending some data to the external application, that's what we can call it send. Pulling and pushing. This will be, and each and every connector, when you're configuring any connector, you need to specify these action. Whether you wanted to use this connector as inbound or outbound connector, and then depends on the connector, automatically you need to specify the connection and operation, because whenever you select each and every operation, that corresponding configuration wizard will be changing it. Let's say whenever you creating a connection for database, you may be getting a different connection wizard. If is here for database, what you need to have, you need to have the database URL, connection, username and password, and then driver information, all other things. If you are connecting for Salesforce, it means depends on the connector you selected, automatically the connection wizard will be displayed automatically. But if you are opening here Salesforce, you may be having a different connection, because that's depends on connector. Automatically the connection and operation wizards will be automatically arranged. So once you, as part of this one, right, so what exactly will be going to the training is, see, for connecting to the one, because Dell Boomi is not only limited to any Salesforce success factor, it can connect to any application. You can see the list of application connectors we are supporting here. List of application connectors it's supporting. It means, like maybe in your project, if you are using Salesforce or success factor, it's fine. Otherwise, they may be using a different connector. Maybe let's say NetSuite or Workday, any other thing. It means the only, what is the connector job is? Connector job is only just to give the data or to take the data. That's only the job. Once you pull the data and before pushing it to the target system, what exactly you wanted to do? That's the entire course will be coming up. So because configuring the connector for inbound or outbound connector, it hardly will take maybe 5 to 10 minutes, depends on expertise. But once you receive the data and before sending it to the target system, what exactly you wanted to perform, that have the certain set of an activities. These are the set of an activities. Using these activities, how we can manipulate the data. Maybe manipulating the data in the sense, maybe you can validating the data, or you can doing some kind of lookups, or transforming the data, translating different or generating some user defined exceptions, or maybe sending an email alerts. Depends on what exactly you want to do. All this entire course will be concentrating on these two palettes. What and all, each palette has certain set of an activities. How we can work with these activities, and as per a requirement, how we what and all activities we need to use. So each and every day we'll be taking one kind of a scenario, and this scenario will be covering each and every one of the step. And when you're coming for the Dell Boomi here, when you log in here, and you can just I'll just explain you to the briefly what are the options are available here, what we can do in each and every tab here. All the Dell Boomi integrations can be done in 3 simple steps. One is a build and deploy and then manage. In the build, basically what will just build all your process logic. Once you build your process logic, even you can test it here also. Whether it process is running as expected, you can test your business process execution, everything here. Once if you run it here and you wanted to deploy it in live mode, you can just go ahead for deploy mode. Once you deploy it, if any configuration need to be done on atom management, you can just go ahead and doing these changes. Like commonly what and all the changes would be, like whenever you're deploying, moving your code from one environment to another environment. Let's say you're moving from the development to the UAT and UAT to the pre-production, production to the production. When you're moving your code across environments, you keep on changing your endpoints. Maybe let's say your database using one instance of database you're using for development, and one instance of database you're using for production and UAT, and one instance of Salesforce. Like each and everything will be changed. That kind of a configuration will be going and will be doing in the atom management. And once if you've done like in atom management, even you can how you want to trigger it, whether you want to trigger it on event based or any scheduling based, all that kind of information we can set up in atom management. And once you configured everything, you are able to run a process and view the statistics of the process. That can be viewed on here on the process reporting. When you go for process reporting, you will be able to see what and all you have done it, what and all the process I have executed, and what is how many number of inbound connectors, how many number of outbound connectors it is executed, each and every information you can see from the process reporting. Systems again. You can I'm just giving you here. You can see some list of processes have been run here. You can see that whether it's a success or error, whether it's on which item it is run, each and everything we can show it. And then on the last option here is the dashboard. Basically, we suppose it is showing kind of a graphical reports, maybe pie chart, that kind of information. We mostly wanted to check anything. How many number of documents has been processed per day, that kind of a report information you will come across and you can see here. Otherwise you won't this is mostly will not work on this dashboard. Will nothing we can do here. You can see how many executions per 7 days, per 1 month, per 3 months, per 6 months, or how many process got errored, what is the throughput of your process, how many documents it has been processed, how many executions are still in execution. Like this kind of information you can see in the graphical. And when you, and one more thing is where how the basically Dell Boomi verifying the license. As I told you, the Dell Boomi is not charging a license for the using the product. Dell Boomi only charge the license for how many number of systems you are connecting. That is the only one part. Basically it verifies when you're deploying your process. When you're deploying a process, it will be verifying how many number of connections we have license and how many number of connections have been already used, how many number of connections is been left for use. So that information will be verified. Where you can see that information is, you can just go for setup, how many number of connections has been licensed, each and every information you can see here. And basically in the setup, what and all you can do, you can do user management. You can add and multiple users, and you can set him a specific roles. Even you can configure an email alerts when, let's say, when your atom is going down or atom is coming up. All you can do, if you want to change your username and password, and if you want to change your time zone, you can configure email alerts. Here you can add multiple users and give him the specific roles, and go for licensing. Here you can see that how many number of connections you have been purchased, how many number of connections has been deployed, how many number of connections is been available for use. If let's say you already have the 2 connections is been deployed, and your process is if your process is using the already deployed connections, then it will be no problem. If your process is using, let's say, 4 connections, out of 4, 2 connections already using the deployed connections, and 2 connections are new connections, then deployment will not be succeeded, because we have only 2 connections, and out of 2 already been used, and 2 is already used in your process, and 2 is new connections. It will be saying that 2 of the connections is need licensing. If you can contact the sales advisor, or else you can reuse your process with reuse the connections. That, so it will not be get deployment is not been success. So this is the point where exactly they're restricting, they're verifying the licensing here. So after that you can and you can use the you can, if you want to configure any security or document tracking options, you can set up here. And one more, the last option is, if you wanted to check verify any uh, help guide, you don't need to log in into the Boomi for checking help guide. You can just go for reference guide here, and there will be one help.boomi.com will be there. It's a product document. As I told you here, each and every time the Boomi is doing a releases for every monthly, so you can track it from here. So there will be a release management somewhere here, and you can check it here. One second. Okay, sorry. Here you can see the release notes archive. You can see for the release notes for the entire every month, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and even you can see what are the releases they are, what is the current release they are doing it. Any enhancement or bug fixing, each and everything they'll be clearly maintaining it. So how they'll be able to know what kind of enhancement or bug fixing bugs are available. There will be one more option for us. As part of the license, we have one more option called support. It means the Boomi support will be available for chatting session. It will be available from the 6 p.m. 6 p.m. of Indian Standard Time. Most of the times, yes timing when US day starts, they will be giving support. And if you have any issues with the Boomi, maybe if you find out any bug or if your process is not working as expected as per the documentation, or if you need any help for any help from the Boomi, then you can raise a ticket. And because it's not a license account, you are not able to see. There is a one kind of a window, chart window. The chart window you can see here, and the chart window will be highlighted only when the US day starts. And you can chat with the this is the online chatting. You can chat with the Boomi support, and if you have any issues, you can they only, if you are any running with the process, they only give you the process URL. Let's say once you open a process in here, and you can, let's say when you open a process here, they'll just only ask you the Boomi URL. It means if I wanted to give my process to run, if I wanted to tell them that run this process and see what kind of error message I'm giving, just need to click on this process, and just automatically URL will be open. Then copy this URL and ping it to them, and once you share this URL to them, and they can open your process on their end with their credential, because they will be having a complete access, and then they can run it on our Atom. You can be, when you're running an Atom, we can tell them you can able to run this particular process on this Atom, and they'll able to help you out with this error, any help, bug fixing or any workaround for that. And even if you need, if you're working, if you have any issues with the production,
Just
yes,
a moment.
go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Is there any charges for that support?
No, as part of a Dell Boomi license account, you'll be getting a premium support.
Oh, okay.
Premium support, you need to work with them. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Vima, I have a question about how do you control administration? Like now, say if I'm given a license and if I'm using it from different computers, is there a way to track the IP address like we do in Salesforce, where this license is getting accessed from or something like that? So is there any security control that can be administered?
I think it's not there, and we are not sure whether it can be track it or not. But what we can do from our end, we cannot track anything. But what we can track it, if there any component gets deleted, and that deleted component, that can be tracked from our end. Maybe from Boomi point of view, they might be having it, or not sure. But by logging into the here, we cannot able to verify anything. Who is logged in from which place? Yes.
Okay. So administrative access is not different from what we are seeing right now.
No, everything will be covered here. That's what the Boomi will be doing in each and everything. Building, integration, managing, everything will be done in 3 simple steps. Build, deploy, and manage.
Okay. Like other tools, you have administrator doing only setup and everything. Developers or say different users work on development, something like that. So there's no classification. It's only one kind of license given to everyone.
Even you can go ahead and set up, as I told you. Even you can configure user management, and even you can create a user, and you can give him the only specific permissions. Maybe you can create a multiple folders in the build tab, and you can give him a permission to only work on that particular folder. Let him create any process or whatever. We can give simultaneously multiple users can work on it here.
Here I see that view audit logs. I think there it gives detailed information of log
download
all
audit
activity.
logs. Maybe this information can be see what are the components that have been deleted. That information will be available for the administrator of the Boomi account. Whoever has the licensing the sales account, they will be having the details.
Yeah, the reason why I'm asking is I'm I am going to get a Dell Boomi access pretty quickly. I can share that, but now my client is a financial client here, and they are really peculiar about security access and everything. So, for Salesforce, they bought Salesforce licenses. They took 3 months to activate them, just to document security and everything, and only then they got access. They gave us access. So, I'm just concerned about sharing, because I want to learn it in a better manner. I definitely want to share my login access with you.
Okay.
I don't know if there is nothing that they can track, then no
As
problem.
of now, Parminder, I have supported around 10 to 15 people. It means at any point of time, I will be having a minimum 5 accounts active. I will be logging from India
Oh,
and I will be doing all these changes. None of us
yeah,
have given any
no problem.
complaint as of now. Maybe
Yeah,
with
otherwise I can share my screen and show it to you. So it's just that I don't want Indian IP address to come.
okay.
Let's see. I mean, or
Yeah,
I can give you access to my computer or something like that.
yeah, we can maybe with that whatever because trial account we can cover most of the things. Only the thing some of
Okay,
the kind
okay.
of a deploy and manage view and some of the activities is blocked it. For that purpose, maybe we can use any one of them, or even I can share it one of my students or my POC accounts. Even I can share that. That's
Uh,
how I am using actually. I only share it to them only for just showing how to deploy, how to check the log, how to debug your process. That information will be showing from the licensing account. I do have some of the licensing accounts.
okay.
That's not a problem. I think we can maybe I will inquire that about also. Whether is there any? I'll just go through
Okay.
view and audit logs. What all can be tracked from view and audit logs?
Yeah.
Maybe we can
And I
verify that
have
also.
one. Yeah, and I have one last question. I don't want to take much of your time.
It's okay.
See now, I mean, cloud to cloud integration is pretty easy. I mean, we have connectors, we connect to them. But
Yes.
now, for example, if we are connecting to Oracle that is installed on a server and Atom that is installed on a server, we are trying to connect them. Uh, how can we access that outside network? Do we always need to have a VPN or something like that, or will Dell Boomi, if it is once configured, will it connect from anywhere?
Yeah, that's a good question. Actually, we have whenever you wanted to access any database or anything, so even your
Mm-hmm.
Atom, you can install. There is a two ways. Atom can be installed on either local or cloud. So when you just go here,
They are installing on local.
yes, local. Suppose let's see when you go for Atom, when you click on Atom, you can see that either you can create a local Atom or in the cloud. So if you are installed in a database and you wanted to access your database in your process and your whatever the atom that is being used for running this process that contains the database connections, both atom and database
Oh,
connections should be in the same network or same host.
awesome, awesome. Got it, Bema. Let's continue.
Yeah,
I want
that,
it.
okay. That basically will tell you when we are dealing with the database, right? That information will share you. I didn't.
Oh,
Okay. And then you can be able to even if you're working with any production, let's say you have some production interfaces are there and the production interfaces got error out suddenly and you couldn't able to find out any helpful for investigating and to find out the root cause. In that case, what you can do, you can take a Boomi help and you can directly create a high priority ticket and you can have a webex session also directly with them. You can there will be one when you just go for Boomi site, there will be one number will be there. You can reach out to that number, US number or maybe Pune number, whatever it, and you can directly reach out to them and then they'll help you out. They'll give you the solution within 1 hour because that's a production issue and when you they'll be asking whether it's you're experiencing this issue in a production environment or lower environment. When you say production environment, I wanted the issue to be resolved immediately because my client is waiting for the issue resolution and entire business was holding because of this issue, then they'll give you the within half an hour or 1 hour they'll give you the solution. And even they have they'll give us the WebEx session and they'll connect and they'll help us. This is what they can provide. And as part of this, as using this chat facility, each and every customer they'll be complaining about the bugs and enhancement. These are things where in this future, in this environment where we basically need any kind of enhancements, or this is a environment where we have a bugs, that all information will be collaborated and then they'll be releasing as a one release for every month. It might be the some of the bugs, or it might be some enhancement or new features, whatever it is. You can able to go through each and every release notes. You can able to go through it. What are the changes done here? And one thing is, once you create a processes here, you cannot take it back. You cannot, like if you are going for any other integration tool, maybe you can just create a project. That project will be saved in your local system, so that even you can take it as a backup. But here you cannot take any backup. You are not sure where exactly the data will be stored. The process information will be stored. Process information will be stored in cloud. Maybe we can work with the Boomi to get an access, but one advantage what they have given is, like, let's say you have multiple accounts. Like, let's say you have one account for Dell Boomi developer version, and one account for UAT, one account for production. And when you are moving a data, when you are moving a process from one account to other account, so there you have an option of here switch accounts here. Means they will be giving you that access for, and when you have an access for the 2 or 3 accounts, when you have an access for 2 or 3 accounts, when you click on search here, what and all accounts do you have an access, all accounts will be listed out here. So it means all those accounts you can copy your processes or any of the data. You can copy the data from to and across all of your accounts. How you can basically copy? Let's you wanted to copy this particular process here. When you have an access, multiple account access, you can just use this copy. You have an access for the different account, because we don't have any access for the other one. You can copy to account. You can select the account here. If you have an access, you can select the multiple accounts. So your data, your process information will be copied to across accounts. So if you don't have an access, only you can copy within the account. You can copy, or you can move your process. But this is the option. Basically, we use it switch accounts whenever you wanted to navigate across multiple accounts without keep on entering a login user and password each and every time. I think I have covered almost all. And community, and one more thing is the community here. In the same way, you can see here, like there is a one community. This is kind of an article, kind of a developer forum where you can check it. If any issues are available, known issues are available, they will be giving us the information how to resolve that. Okay, I don't want to log in. And earlier there was an option here, article, in that same chart. Sorry, support page. There was a option called article. There you can see what and all commonly issues, and what is the how to resolve that issues. Each and everything they have provided here. Now they have moved it. They have created one more forum, looks like. And there you can find out the answers for frequently happen issues. Instead of you each and every time you work with the Dell Boomi, because the Dell Boomi will, if you are raise any tickets in lower environment, they may take 1 or 2 days. Maximum 3 days is a day, because each and every time they will be assigned the ticket as a medium ticket. But you cannot change the ticket status to high priority. That you can request the Boomi, and you can request them to make it as a priority, and you can tell them that you can resolve the issue, because they will be having a deadline. When they have a high priority ticket gets opened, it should be resolved within a 2 hours. They also will be having deadlines. So always when you open a ticket in lower environments, they always give you the medium priority. They may expect you to resolution maybe 1 or 2 days, depends on availability. So that's the reason. Instead of you waiting for them, you can check on the portal articles, what and all frequently happening issues. Whatever your issue will be available there. In case if it is available, you can directly go through the resolution steps, and you can directly work it out instead of you contact Dell Boomi each and every time. That's the features of here. And most of the times, see the deployment and how to deploy and checking log file. This is common across each and every process. It will not be vary. Deployment procedure will not vary for the one process to another process, and checking log file will not vary from one process to another process. So most of the things, our concentration will be on build tab. How we can work with the different setup and activities to accomplish the customer requirement. That can be it internally means how to work with the different setup and activities. That will be the end of the entire course. I think I am done. If any one of your questions, we can. I'll help to give answers.
I think it is good to start with. I
Okay.
Hello.
I don't have any questions at this moment.
Yeah, Vema.
Hello.
This is Venu.
Yeah, Beno, go ahead.
After completion of the setup and after completion of the project, suppose if you integrate SuccessFactors and SAP HCM,
Okay.
suppose it's done, completed.
Okay.
Is there any support required after some time? Is there any support projects or only for implementation?
No, no, no. Support projects will be there. Support projects will be there. Keep on because of entire business will be keep on running, right? But maybe the supporting less resources will be required. Maybe instead of
Okay.
five people are available for development, maybe one or two people can handle the
Yes, yes,
supporting because one
yes.
guy will be on leave, another will be backup. Support will be there. Definitely, it will be there. Not only development projects.
Okay. And how many days it will take to complete this all this?
20 to 25 hours.
Okay.
Maybe 20 to 25 hours it will take. And after
Okay.
training, if any one of you have any doubts, if you are already in the project, if you need any help, if you stuck any process development or anything, I'll help you out for 10 to
Yeah.
15 days as part of training
Okay, sure.
without any additional
Uh,
charge.
and one more thing, how much experience we can put? How many years?
Okay, that
Like,
maybe that you can maybe with whatever the information I am sharing it to you. If you are going through, if you are follow each and every classes regularly,
okay.
because you need to have a practice. Without that, you will not able to. You can
Yes,
put
yes,
2 to 3
yeah.
years minimum.
Okay. Yeah, that's all, Vema. Thank you.
Yeah,
Hello.
you can.
Wait,
Yeah, yeah, Kalyan.
Yeah. Here now you created the two users, right? We have to you can create multiple users. Very good.
Kalyan, can you
So
speak little bit louder? I'm getting echo from others.
yeah. Hello. Is it okay?
Bit better.
Yeah. We can create the users in the Delboom, right? So I have the three developers in my project. Okay. Three developers are working on the some component, but two developers working on same component. Okay.
Okay.
Let's suppose you are working on the test one component. I'm also working on the test one component. You are also made some changes. I'm also made some changes. I have deployed the changes. Okay,
Okay.
but the changes will be immediately reflected to your component also. But that time your changes will be lost, right? So how to check it? Because
Okay. See,
once we are
the one thing is,
whenever we are doing changes,
yeah.
whenever we are doing the changes, any activity is there. We have to create any activity. So if we have activity, then we can track that one, right?
Yes, yeah, very good question. Here, there is a revision history here. Each and every time when you click on a save, there will one revision will be saved here. If you want to check previous revision,
Yeah.
you can go ahead and you can see here. This is the one thing, and one thing is we cannot work on not only any revision histories, any revision control tools also, version control tools also. We cannot one developer cannot directly work on same component. Maybe we can work on same project, but when one developer is working at the one developer is working on the same component, let's say that okay, one developer is working on DB to CSV merge process, so he will be creating a log. So others cannot able to release the log until unless you release it. They cannot able to modify anything here. We can set up that kind of a custom roles for these users. So once you, if you maybe you can as part of a like let's say you have one project that have the four or five functionalities need to be done. Yes, you can create a child process. Each developer can create work on a separate child process. Once each and every developer complete a child process, you can one guy can have the main process and you can club all your child parent process child process using the one of the step called call process here. You can call another process with this one. But each and every time one developer working on one component is not at all because whoever is immediately done the save changes or recent changes, that will be holding the changes, and the changes will be moved to the even deployment, and it will be available for running the live also. Your question is answered, Kalyan?
Where to go that one? Can you show me once again?
Sorry?
You open on screen, right? Where to put that one?
This one?
Revision history. Oh,
Yeah, you can
okay.
see the revision history on down. This revision history available for each and every component. Even process is also one of the component. You can see these all are the components.
Yes.
This
Yes.
revision history will be maintained for each and every component, and the revision will be created automatically when you click on save each and every time. You can able to track it when the developer have when the project have multiple developers, and whenever you logging, right, so automatically whenever you click on save, if I save it, whatever the username I logged in with, that username it will be recorded here. If multiple developers are there, they will be having a different login details. So whoever modified the same process, their email ID will be recorded, and the timestamp will be recorded here. And even when you open this process, maybe if there are minor changes, you can compare manually. But there is no other way you can compare automation comparison tool. What are the differences between the 30 and 28 versions, like that? You cannot able to do any revision. Automatic changes are not available for comparison. You have to go for manual
Can we
comparison.
can we control to work one developer at the
Yes,
one
you can. You can give we have a custom roles, as I told you here. You can give a user with the custom roles. Like a custom role, one of the custom role, what you can give it here. You go for user management. You go for custom roles. Maybe you can just add a privilege. You can give the user even. You can give more and more, more and more. And let's say here, maybe when you are giving build, there will be an option called somewhere build
No, I
here.
have the same access. You also have the same access, but I have to give the control to single one component have to work only one person at a single at any one time. So to multiple users can't multiple developers can't to work on the one component like we can do that.
This is that much level may not be available in Boomi, but as a if you are working on anything, and maybe you can restrict the access, so anybody others cannot able to modify that process. You can make a process as a read only process. When let's say if you wanted to, you don't want any others to be work on it. If you are not have a collaboration across, if you have not have any collaboration, and then you can work with. You can if you are have not, if you don't have any communication with your team who is working on the same thing, and then you can you can set this process as a only read only process for others, so that even they are trying to access others also, they cannot able to modify, because everything will be read only.
Oh,
That can be done,
okay.
because recently all these permissions got more and more updates happened for these permissions. With these permissions you can set all these things. Earlier this much is not available. Even you cannot restrict, even you cannot give one folder to one guy and one folder to give access to one person also. That's option also not there. Now they have given all these options.
Okay. Yeah, thank you.
uh, Anyone else have any questions?
Here it says this session is being recorded.
Yeah, i
So
i,
do we
I
get
have,
that recording or?
yeah, I have started recording in
Okay.
middle of it, not from starting. If you want, I can share it. I know, no problem. I can share it with Google
Yeah,
Drive.
share me every day that production.
Yeah, sure. I'll maybe you can just send me all email IDs. I'll just share it.
I
Yeah. Will you be sharing through Google Drive or something like that?
Mostly
Because it
Google
takes
Drive.
a lot of space. Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
it will be, but that will be have, if you want, we can share it by another also. So each and every time uploading and sending it to multiple users, that will be good. I think Parminder, Parminder, do have your email ID. I think I can share it to you.
Okay.
And
Okay.
here, Kalyan, if anyone need to
yeah,
have this
already ping
video,
you. Already.
you can ping me on WhatsApp.
I think.
Already
Oh,
ping you.
ping you.
NINGA.
Okay, then I'll send it. Maybe it will take some time to upload to Google Drive. Maybe I can send it in the next 1 hour or something, 2 hours.
Okay.
Okay, then can we close the session now?
Yeah.
Yes,
Maybe
please.
we can have a session every day, 7 to 8, maybe 8:30.
Okay.
Depends
Okay.
on the having no problem anyone. Then we can have 8:30.
Okay.
All right. All right.
Yeah, thank you.
All
Thank you for
right.
joining.
Yeah. Bye. Bye.